The odds of a whitetail buck living to just 4 years of age are pretty dang low, especially in the highly pressured, highly populated areas that we hunt here in northern Illinois. Each year, we lose a substantial amount of our young bucks to other hunters, vehicle collisions, predation, disease, sharpshooting, or some other unforeseen hazard of nature. Simply put, it's not easy being a whitetail buck. For those reasons, we've decided that once a deer hits 4 years old or older, on most of the farms that we hunt, he's gonna be on our hit list regardless of how many inches of antler are on its head. Sure, it's great to go out and chase these big giant bucks, but the reality is they are few and far between, and you simply can't kill what isn't there. Back in 2020, I was out hunting with my son Joey, looking to get his very first deer, when this nice young 2-year-old buck showed up in our food plot. It would have been a great first year for Joey, but unfortunately he just didn't give us the shot we needed. You know, this deer was literally steps away from being shot, and little did we know at the time, but that was his first close call with death. After the season was over, Tommy's son Jack picked up one side of his rack. You know, we didn't think much about it. He was just a nice young 2-year-old deer, but we were certainly gonna keep an eye on him. Heading into the 2021 season, this deer turned into a really nice 3-year-old 10-pointer. Although he wasn't quite on our hit list, he was a deer that we were watching closely, hoping that he would defy the odds and make it one more year. As fate would have it, one of the neighbors had an encounter with this buck and got a shot off at him, but he hit a twig and deflected his arrow. He believed it was a clean miss. However, trail camera pictures told us a different story. It appeared that one blade of the hunter's broadhead had slashed the buck's hide open, but didn't cause any serious damage. And with that, this buck had his second brush with death, and he earned the nickname Slash. Now as we head into 2022, our focus was set on a deer that we called the Great 8. You know, Tommy spent countless hours clearing and prepping new locations for food plots, hanging new tree stands, and trying to get us in position to harvest this buck, who was now a triple-beamed 6-year-old giant. We also had high hopes that Slash was gonna make that big jump in size that deer often make from 3 to 4, but for some reason it just wasn't in the cards. We're not sure if the injury that he sustained last year stunted his antler growth, but at 4 years old, he was all out of free passes.
Let's go! How you doing? Been a long time since I've seen y'all. Probably since last September. And we're gonna pick up right where we left off. All that hard work that we were doing out on this particular property to go after one of the big dogs, hopefully it all pays off this afternoon. Excited to be out here. Finally got those temps. Bucks are running. The rut is here. What more could you ask for? I've been having one heck of a season already. Lots of different encounters. I've had 11 or 12 different buck encounters. 90% of them I've had the opportunity to shoot, and that's what bow hunting's all about. And using some very interesting deer hunting tactics this year, I have decided to get back to my roots and to go trail camera free. Not checking, no digitals. We're just rolling with it. We're having fun. And we're doing what's important, which is scouting and running the property and looking, visual sightings, long distance. And I just found a rub. It's hard to see. Great. In there. And honestly, that's what I love about hunting. You can do it any way you want to do it. It doesn't really matter. Everybody's got their own way. Everybody's in a different point in their life. And right now, where I'm at with my life, I like feeling like a kid again. A kid out on a new piece of property, working his tail off, running around, chasing deer, pushing them around in circles, and at the end of the day, being surprised by what's out there, the mystery of the unknown, and being excited when a big old bruiser comes in, or whatever. I'm from Wisconsin. Anything with a good rack is gonna die. But look at this. Maybe I should just hunt at the truck. Running tracks, running buck track. Looks like a pretty good one. But anyway, we're going back to one of the spots that we've been working, building, planting, set the stand up back in March. It's really only been hunted twice by Jack and I, and we both had buck encounters. very, very far south end. And because we have a southeast wind, it actually works perfect. As old Jay-Z predicted, it does work on a southeast. So that's what we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna get real quiet because I wanna hear, I wanna look, I wanna pay attention and see if, potentially I see something running around. I might have to make a crazy adjustment, but I kinda doubt it. So we're gonna get going, we're gonna get in there. We'll scout our way in. If we see any good sign, we're gonna stop, look at it. Don't trespass. A little crunchy, but not too bad. Blue jay's going nuts. Nutty. That's the far north end. We're going to the south. But something's happening over there. I'm a big fan of blue jays. I follow them, I listen to them. I'm trying to determine which squawks are deer and which ones are just calling. I don't know yet. Help me out. Let me know. See at the top. Alright, well, we are officially hunting in the stand exactly where we want to be today, working with the conditions. I wish I had some big buck reports to give you as far as what's moving around here today, but like I said, I'm not using trail camera, so I have no idea, and I'm totally fine with it. I caught a bunch of tracks on my way in. I can tell you there are a couple bucks. The big one, I didn't cut his tracks because I know exactly what they look like, and they are like giant, really splayed out, especially when he runs. It's crazy. His feet are enormous. He's 6 years old. I've seen him in person probably 5 times over the last couple of years. Only once with a bow in my hand. I've seen him from the road. I've seen him shed hunting a bunch of times. He's really our #1 target out here, but there's a bunch of others running around. Some other properties across the street. Who knows? Maybe one of those deer is going to show up. Maybe a new one I've never seen before. I don't know. Exactly what I want him to do. He's coming quick. I barely spotted him over there by the time I had the camera on. He was right on that edge. Now we just need a big one to do it. I've actually passed that deer like 3 times this year across the road. But looking good. They're running.
this. The deer we call Slash, and he's a big deer. When I saw him, I was like, oh boy. Missed 33 yards. I knew it was 33 yards. I just looked. I looked right when I shot, and I dropped my bow. Dumb. I do that a lot. It's my biggest problem. I did it last year with that buck shot underneath him. Clean miss. He ran off. No idea what happened. I don't know where he went. He kind of disappeared. But hey, that's hunting. We roll on. Got you that time, boy. Oh. The buck was mine forevermore. Smoked him. Whoa. I've been shaking for like 30 minutes. After I missed that deer, I'm like, okay, let's get that one out of the way. No need to worry. Season's still early. It comes all the way around. I see a doe running through this little spot here, and I know she's gonna go right through here. I've seen her multiple times going back and forth and back and forth. And sure enough, I look and I just see Rat coming, and I don't even know who it is. I just know he's a mature deer. As he got a little closer, I wasn't able to film through there. I was just focusing on that shot. When it comes to self-filming, it is really, really difficult. And I had this thing, and he's wrapped over here, and I'm like, okay, that's my spot. I was gonna shoot him here, but I knew right there that was 25 yards. I pre-ranged it. That's 25, that's 33. He was right there. I'm like, and I concentrated, I put it right on him, and I just, boom, I'm still shaking a little bit, but oh, that feels good. So that is Slash. Slash is the deer that was shot last year right across the neck. His rack was actually bigger. He was a bigger buck last year. And for whatever reason, you know, he made it through the season and he didn't grow his rack back as big, but he's still a really nice 10-pointer. I mean, he's awesome. He's a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, resident on the property. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna go and check everything out. That deer, I smashed him, no question, down. And he's right by a coyote den. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get down, grab my arrows, look at that arrow, look at the blood. I saw the blood pouring out of him at about 60, so I'm just gonna go run over there and I'm gonna recover him and I'm gonna put my gear on him. I'm just gonna go recover him now. I'm gonna do it by myself right now. Okay, let's go. All right, just heard a grunt. Boy, it's on fire. Just heard another grunt, it's on fire. I only have one tag, so I'm not even gonna sit up there and be tempted by the big H. He could probably come back. He probably would show up, but I'm not picky when it comes to mature deer. So here's my first arrow. Swing and a miss. That one gets retired forever. What we do is we twist the broadhead off. My buddy Rob, who I was out with the other night, recovered his giant deer. Taught me that trick. It's pretty cool. You know, a lot of arrowheads in the earth. There's a lot of broadheads in the earth. So someday, some archaeological digger will find that and think, wow, look at these primitive humans with mechanical broadheads. So that one stays in the earth forever. Second arrow, perfect pass through. my stand right up there. Talk about a deadly setup. The trail that he was walking on was right here. I blazed that with the Mega Mower, and that's out of the plot over there. But here is I mean, on impact, absolutely spraying. Tip to tip, tip to tip. That's what you like to see. Tip to tip. There he is. Oh my gosh, he's beautiful. He is a beautiful buck. Check it out. Bam. There he is. Old Slash. Slash is done. Big old 4-year-old. Or 5. He's a beaut. He's a beaut. He's a beaut, Clark. I'm so glad I made a good shot after that little swing and a whiff. You know, when it comes to this filming stuff, doing it by yourself, it's really easy to get frustrated and then calm yourself, collect, regroup, and focus on that shot. That shot is most important. What a beautiful deer. Just a warrior of a buck. It's been a while, honestly, since I've enjoyed one of these moments by myself. It's kind of just very peaceful. I'm kind of a high-strung, crazy, wild son of a gun. And I've always done it with my son or with buddies, and I celebrated with my friend Rob the other night, and it's kind of fun just to do it by yourself. I've had such a clear mind this whole hunting season, and feel it all just going through my body right now with this. It's just, that's what it's all about right there. That's what bow hunting's all about. This whole day has been amazing. It's been one of those rut days, good feeling days. Everything was working out. That would be the entrance. Look at the neck on him. So he was cut right here last year. Cut with the. He was shot with a, I believe, a Rage broadhead last year. And my buddy Jerry, I think he had a deflection on the shot. We'll share the rack, Jerry. I'll take it for a year, you take it for a year. That's the deal. That's how we roll. Amazing. We've had this discussion a few times. You know, with him being wounded, his rack was actually a lot bigger last year. We don't know if, you know, having a really early spring or a late spring contributes to antler growth, but being wounded, we thought, you know, all his tips like never finished off. And that's the exact same thing that happened when I shot the buck Jimmy Dean out here. The next year, his rack grew really deformed. He had a injury right here that I put the arrow through too far back and too low. But hey, big old mature buck's a mature buck. It's a trophy in my eyes. We've worked really hard out here. This was a great deer for me to take. Awesome experience, amazing day. Just one of those awesome rut days you look forward to in November. November 8th is amazing. I mean, it's what it's all about. You know, we wait all year. We hunt an animal that's primarily nocturnal, and to see these critters out in daylight running around it's so much fun. And like I said, I've had one of those years where I went back to my roots, you know, didn't run any digital stuff, didn't even check any trail cameras, and it's been so much more rewarding, especially hunting with my son and teaching him like a lot of the, you know, things I look for, whether it's scrapes, rubs, you know, staging areas, destination food, deer tracks. Like, we're doing all that stuff again, and it's so much fun, you know, and it works. It's just amazing, and that's just kind of where I'm at with my hunting career. And I don't know, it's just, for me personally, that's what I enjoy. But not that there's anything wrong with the cams or whatever, but you know, through the season, you know, we checked them earlier. We knew who was alive, and that's all I needed to know. Show me what they look like and who's alive, and we'll figure it out from there. But my first buck down this year, probably not my last. Might shoot another one, but we're gonna focus on junior now. You know, enjoy the last couple days of the rut before the gun season, and I love late season too. I'm a big late season fan, so we'll probably go until Jack gets his buck. You know, he's been hunting by himself this year. He got hunter safety, and he's been out by himself. He's worked his butt off on this property, and he's had quite a few opportunities. He's actually been just a little nervous to take a shot. A couple of the bucks that he had were just a little out of range. You know, he was trying to stick to that 20-yard range, and he's had a lot of close encounters, and he's had a lot of good bucks underneath him. And like I said, unfortunately, he couldn't be here today because he's got a basketball game. But that's just kind of how it goes. I knew it was going to be a good day today when I was working. I was seeing bucks running all over the place, and there you go.
Well, that was a great hunt from Tommy, and kind of a cool end to the story of the buck that we called Slash. You know, he had so many close encounters, you know, from Joey almost shooting him 2 years ago to, you know, the neighbor shooting him. I mean, think about how close that, you know, broadhead blade was to killing that deer. I mean, we're talking maybe fractions of an inch away from opening him up and killing that deer. So it's just amazing, like, how many things all have to fall into place for not only a deer to make it through to 4 years, you know, of age or older, but for us to actually get him in bow range and get a shot at him. So just kind of a cool story, particularly because Tommy missed him, right? I mean, that was like the third close encounter. Like, how many times is this deer gonna escape without getting shot? But, you know, as fate would have it, the rut and a doe brought him back into range and sealed his fate once and for all. So congrats to Tommy. It was a heck of a deer. Really cool hunt. I thought he did a really nice job on it. You know, something that's interesting to note with this deer, obviously you could see that, like, from 3 to 4 years old, we were hoping this deer was gonna blow up, right? Most of the time when you see a huge jump in antler size, it's that 3 to 4 year jump. As a 3-year-old, you know, we never found his sheds last year, but, you know, we figured he might have been in the 130 range, something like that. So we're figuring mid 40s, maybe pushing 150 as a 4-year-old is what we're hoping for. He shows up on camera and we're like, what the heck happened? Well, why did he get smaller, right? This is really strange. And we're not sure if it was the injury that he sustained. You know, it didn't seem like it was a serious enough injury that should have stunted his antler growth the following year. It could have been something else. Hard to say. You know, the ends of his tines and his beams were all like discolored and kind of porous looking, if you guys noticed. So I don't know if he sustained some sort of injury while he was in velvet that stunted his growth. But, you know, like I said earlier, once a deer gets to 4 years around here, for us, like on our farms, we don't get many 4-year-old deer, to be completely frank. It's a miracle when a deer makes it to 4 years old. So for us, like, 4 years old and up are the deer that we're targeting. And like I said, it doesn't matter if they got 100 inches or 200 inches of antler on their head. That's a deer that we're going to try to harvest. So, you know, congrats to Tommy. It was a heck of a hunt. I really enjoyed it. You know, we haven't seen the grade 8, unfortunately, in about, I think it's been 2 weeks maybe since we had a picture of him now. We're just past the first firearm season here in Illinois, so we're not 100% sure if he's around or not, but we did have another absolute mega giant show up like out of nowhere on this farm. He's been there twice, in daylight, of course, both days that I'm not hunting, but hoping that maybe he's gonna stick around for the late season and we'll be able to maybe get a shot at him. So that's it for this episode, guys. We appreciate you tuning in as always. If you've got any thoughts on that deer's injury and antler growth, maybe you guys know more than we do. Maybe you're a deer biologist and you can inform us, like, what is this all about? Certainly let us know in the comments below. We'd appreciate it. And we'll see you back right here on Bowhunt or Die in a couple days with some more exciting deer hunts. Audio check, audio check. It's not easy being cheesy. It's not easy being Jay-Z. I suck at deer hunting, everybody.